Hey Stache fans, welcome back to the Mully Stache Show. I know it's been a little bit since I posted my previous video, but I've been extremely busy. As you know, I'm a full-time graduate student and a part-time undergraduate student, and amongst all the other things going on in my life, that's taken up a lot of my time. Turns out graduate school isn't really a joke, who knew? Anyway, I need to be a full-time grad student because I received an academic scholarship, and then I need to be a part-time undergraduate student because my bachelor is in a hard science and my graduate degree I'm pursuing is not a hard science. So I need to catch up on all the things I missed. Anyway, so I'm going to continue to try to keep posting videos. Hopefully over break they can be a little bit more often, but I don't know. And I got to do a little bit of traveling here coming up, and then when semester hits again, it's going to be back to the grindstone. So we'll see what happens. I'll post when I can, and I do want to post more, but it is sometimes, we got to edit and all that, whatever. Anyway, I'm not here to make excuses. I'm here to make nachos. Now, the recipe my mustache does match my shirt, actually, so I'm glad you noticed. Anyway, I'm going to make some nachos, but they're not conventional nachos like you'll know. This is a recipe that came from my in-laws. I don't know, maybe they're redneck nachos. I don't know, there's no name. When my wife and I were dating years ago, she came over and she made nachos for me, and this sounded ridiculous. I wasn't going to eat this. It was a horrible, horrible idea because certain things, in my opinion, still don't go together. And if you were to tell me this recipe today, I would still say you're mad. And it's weird because these nachos are actually pretty good. They're not everyday good, but they're, maybe every couple months or once a year type good, maybe twice a year. Unfortunately, it's kind of this big process. There's baked nachos, there's cheese, there's Alfredo, there's peppers, all that stuff. So it's very interesting, and I wanted to share this recipe with you, and I still can't put my head around the concept, even though these nachos are awesome-ish. Really, they're not bad. They're not great. They're not the best thing in the world, but they're actually pretty good. Surprisingly good. But they're not perfect. I don't know. I want you to give this recipe a shot. It sounds repulsive. It might look repulsive. It's strange. But whoever thought of it, my hat is off to you, sir or madam. Or anywhere in between, I guess, to be politically correct. So let me readjust the camera and we will start getting nachos ready. Now, this recipe could be made, I guess, real quick, I tell you, with usually bell peppers is how my wife usually made it. And then she would put like pickled jalapenos on at the end. However, out here where I'm at, the grocery store doesn't have good produce. Mostly it's black and wilted and gross already on the shelves. And that's not just one grocery store, it's all the grocery stores in here, but I'm kind of out in the sticks a little bit away from the city. So I'm just going to go with fresh jalapenos, and I'm going to use those in place of bell peppers, and depending on how many seeds I get, I may or may not put pickled jalapenos on, so we'll see. And one other thing I wanted to say, I know we should be cutting by now. I'm going to use this knife. This is called a ulu knife. It's or also known as a woman's knife, but it's from I guess it's made up in Alaska, and it's probably from the Inuits, if my understanding is good. My sister got me this for Christmas a couple years ago, and it might be one of the best Christmas presents I've ever got. In fact, my parents got me this really nice knife set for my birthday that same year, and then once I got this, I pretty much stopped using the knife set. This ulu knife came with this cutting board, which is a flat cutting board on one side, and a bowl, which is roughly the same diameter, or has the same curvature, I don't know. This will be a review for another day, but I just want to give you a heads up. This is what I'll be chopping everything with. So if you say, hey, what's that? Now you know. It's awesome. Really, it's awesome. So, cool. And I probably have even talked about it before because it's so awesome, but this is really exclusive me and my only knife I use nowadays in the kitchen. But without further ado, again, let's get some nachos. GoPro off. GoPro stop recording. Alright, Stache fans, we are back. And this is going to be kind of awkward. I have the camera propped up in front of me, so I'm way out aside from my comfort zone. But that's okay. You see how these are the best peppers I could find, and they're not great. But I don't know. It'll cook out. When holding the ulu, there's a bevel edge, and you want the bevel edge like on the outside, away from you, and the flat edge towards the center. And that's about it. You'll notice that I have cast iron on top of a glass stove. Now, some people may be thinking I'm crazy and you can't do that, but you can. Just got to be careful. Don't slide it around. Don't slam it down. Just be careful. Also be careful, if you heat it up too quick, it will warp and the bottom will start rocking, so you got to heat it up slow. So, I don't know. You'll notice this pan is seasoned, and this will probably be another video. Just real quick, I'll tell you about it, that I've been using cast iron. This particular pan my parents got in, I think they said 1975. I grew up using it, and I've always used soap and water to wash it, always. And then when I'm done, I dry it, and then I'll just season it. A lot of people say you can't use soap when you are using cast iron, but I disagree. And the Lodge website also says that you can. So I'm not going to tell you if you should or if you shouldn't. That's a personal preference. I'm just letting you know I do, and I don't have any problems. And this pan is older than I am, and it's still very nice, very good condition. Next, I'm just going to add some breakfast pork sausage. This isn't any brand in particular. I just picked it up when I was at the store. It's a no-name brand. I've never tried it before, but it was a lot cheaper than the name brand, so I figured I'd give it a shot. It looks kind of strange, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Alright, so now, back to this awkward position. I'm going to put the sausage. I just took some regular, the tortilla, the scoops. I think that's what they're called, scoops. It doesn't matter. Some type of tortilla chip. I don't normally go for the scoops, but I decided to change it up a little bit. It's really, sorry, my arm's in the way. It's really whatever kind you really want to use. If you want to use the scoops, use the scoops. If you want to use the hint of lime, use the hint of lime. It's really up to you. And I just went ahead and dumped these on the tray because I knew if I opened the bag, it was just going to go ahead and be loud. So I got that out of the way. I shouldn't have done that ahead of time because I ended up eating quite a few of them as I was cooking the sausage. I've never used this brand of sausage before, but it tastes alright. Looks alright. So far, they seem like typical nachos, albeit with sausage instead of like ground beef. Now, this is kind of the weird part, the part that still freaks me out to this day, is Alfredo sauce. Now, I like Alfredo, but I like Alfredo at restaurants. I don't like really canned Alfredo. But in this case, something happens and it actually works out somehow to be pretty good. I don't know the science behind it, but it's really not that bad. And then next on the list is these onions and jalapenos that I sort of softened up a little bit. Didn't quite brown them. I was hungry. I didn't really want to wait. I'm glad too, because this sausage took a lot longer than I was thinking it was going to be. So I'm going to sprinkle about half of them on right now. The rest I'm going to take out when it comes out of the oven. Always my favorite part on any dish is the cheese. So, and I think Alfredo's a cheese sauce, but I don't consider it cheese. We need actual cheese. I'm just using some shredded sharp cheddar I found at the store. It was on sale, so I picked it up. But you could easily put, you know, Cheese Whiz or nacho cheese or whatever you feel like. These are your nachos. Might as well make them how you want to, right? And let's see, we got to put some black olives on. So I happen to like black olives. Some people don't. I was, after finals yesterday, I was talking to some of the guys, telling them about this recipe, and one of them, like, stopped listening when he heard black olives. He's like, that's it for me. I'm like, well, wait a second now. If you don't like olives, don't put olives on. Don't not try the recipe just because it's got something, one ingredient on it you don't like. Not real fair. I'm going to put about, well, I guess it is about half of the jalapenos on now, and sort of put the other half on when I pull them out of the oven. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put it all on right now. Just make life easier. When it comes out, I'm going to want to eat it. So I'll put all the peppers on, all the onions on, all the jalapenos on. And then, just because I can, I'm going to add a special ingredient. Now, I don't know how many of you are hot sauce fans, but I'm a hot sauce fan. I've always been a Tabasco fan. And I stopped, and I had the pleasure of stopping at the Tabasco plantation, and I was there, and I was able to get this 150th anniversary Tabasco sauce. It's made with sparkling white wine as opposed to normally vinegar, and it's the 150th anniversary this year, so I got a chance to get some. And then I went back about, I don't know, 2 months later, and they were totally sold out. So I was disappointed because I wanted to keep one as a collector, and I had to try one too. But luckily, I just got a thing the other day from Tabasco that they re-released or they had a little bit extra that they were selling again for the holiday season. So that's really cool. They also had a special $15 off code, which didn't work, and that's not cool. And I reached out to them, and they never responded, so that's also not cool. But the sauce itself is pretty awesome. Now this just goes in the oven until the cheese is melted and it's hot. No set time. I'll pull it out when it looks done, and I will let you know about how long that is. So until then, we will be back. Alright, Stache fans, I need both hands to get this out of the oven, I think. So you're just going to have to look at nothing for right now. Da 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 da! Ta-da! Alright. So I'll make sure the oven's shut off. So Stache fans, there you have it. Alfredo nachos. So tortilla chips, breakfast sausage, Alfredo sauce, onions, peppers, cheese, black olives. And I put some Tabasco in it this time. I don't know why I didn't get sour cream. I guess that would have been the smart idea, but that's what it is. Alright, now it is time for the test to see if these nachos worked out. I hope they worked out. My mustache started melting from all the heat of cooking the sausage. It's really hot in here. So it's nice when you put it in the oven, the chips kind of crisp up again because they kind of get soggy from the Alfredo sauce. Oh, this is going to be really hot steaming, so... Oh well. It's going to be good though. That Tabasco adds a nice flavor to it as well. But the cheese comes through, the Alfredo comes through, and you don't really taste Alfredo like you would when you have like a chicken Alfredo, but there's a hint of something, and that's the Alfredo sauce. It's fairly decent. I hope you guys get to try this. I'm trying to hold my phone so I can see where the camera's pointing to make sure, but my phone just froze, so I don't know if my camera's still pointing or not. So I'm going to wrap this up so I can enjoy my nachos. Oh, I think my mustache is falling apart. Thanks for tuning in, Stache fans. I will try to get out another video sooner rather than later. Turns out grad school is no joke. So little happiness things like this, like these nachos, are definitely well worth it. Again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. And I will try to put this recipe in the description below. It's not my recipe, so I'm going to make sure I get permission first. Because I got it from the in-laws. I don't know where they got it from. And I know it looks crazy, it sounds crazy, but it's actually really good. You know, before I made it, I'm like, well, it's not great. You know what? I lied. It's pretty awesome. Definitely worthwhile. Again, if there's something on here you don't like jalapenos or black olives, don't put them on. If there's something more you want, garlic or whatever, do put it on. You can always change it up to suit your liking, but the big key is the breakfast sausage, I think, and the Alfredo and the chips and the bacon. I think that's sort of the whole goal behind these nachos. They're very delicious, so I definitely need to get out of here so I can go enjoy those. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time.